women need to get up, yes, leave their children behind if they don't have a choice. Like, what is stopping you from experiencing the growth that you deserve? Experiencing the acceleration that you need in your life.
Welcome to the MoneyFitMD show. I'm Dr. Latifat, the founder of MoneyFitMD.
We want to change the narrative where women physicians use. My job is to let you know that's gonna be. I have to surround myself with people that are doing crazy things.
So, if you haven't heard about our in-person events, or if you've heard about it and you're sitting on the fence wondering, is this the event for me as a woman physician? You're going to love this episode because I am going to address why you need to be in this room. But also, I want to make sure that at the end of this episode, you are very, very clear about whether this is for you, if this is the year that you need to come in here and be in the room with us, because I want to address some frequently asked questions that our past attendees and some of the people that I've talked to this year have, and I hope it will be very, very helpful for you. So if we haven't met, I am Dr. Latifat. I'm a physician. I'm a mama of 3 little ladies. Well, they're no longer super little anymore. They're now ages 7, 10, and 12. And I'm also the founder of MoneyFitMD. Everything that we do here is specifically to help women physicians win in their finances so that they can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on their terms. So one of the amazing things that we offer inside of the Money Fit MD world is our in-person event. And this is something that we started last year. So this is our second year. So I'm just going to give you a little bit background of why we actually planned this event. If you're like, it's funny, people tell me as someone that invests in real estate, we do mostly active, but we also do passive investing. Sometimes people are like, why do you guys keep doing active investment? It's like you're glutton for punishment. And people kind of ask me the same question as well when it comes to planning events. Like, why are you hosting events? And I'm going to tell you, there's a really, really good reason why I host events. And I will be honest with you, this episode is also going to be a little bit vulnerable as well, because I want to make sure I tell you guys, I always tell you the truth. I try to be transparent on the podcast and on the YouTube and all of that stuff. But I just want you to know like why I started those MoneyFitMD in-person events, how that journey started, and why 2025 is going to be our best one yet. And again, if you're someone that's sitting on the fence, I want to make sure that at the end of this episode, you're super duper clear about what you may be missing out on. And sometimes it's good to miss out on things. If it's not the right year for you, then that's fine as well. But one thing I want to make sure though, is that you are not one of those people that will regret not coming. That you're not sitting on the fence, you're not hiding, you're not buying into some of the excuses that maybe even I used to have, and so many of us women physicians have when it comes to in-person events. And yes, I want to make sure that will help you with all of that today. So just really briefly, like when I go back to my own personal history around money and events, I will be honest with you. When I started in money, there weren't too many women that looked like me talking about money, right? The money scene looked a lot of, was white and Asian. And I'll just be honest with you, that's what it looks like. And so now imagine I'm going to events to go speak at the event, and I'm literally standing on stage and I may be the only Black person on there. And I will be honest with you, after attending one or two of those events, I started getting really nervous about going to event because I would go to the event, I would feel like I was the only person that thought like me, that I could hang out with. I would hide in my room and all of that stuff. And it got to the point where when I'm going to events, I'm like talking to my friends and going, guys, I'm going in there just so that when a woman physician like me, like you, is looking into the room, they see someone else that looks like them. Because for so long, money has been very segregated, for lack of a better term, very monotoned, lack of diversity when it comes to finances and money. And part of my work is to build that gap, is to bridge the gap, to increase diversity in money, to close some of the disparities that exist in money. And so I understood my assignment. So a lot of the work that I was doing to show up was for that. But one thing that I realized though was that it did not have to be that way. Like, why is it that you would go to an event and you'd be so afraid of going and missing out on the event? Especially if you're a minority, you're Black, you're brown, and even if you're a woman, maybe you're the first in your family to build wealth.
your first generation wealth builder where you've never attended a money event before because it looks like a cold room where you're like going to not belong. And so I did all of that, right? But at no point did I actually want to start an in-person event until about 2 years ago, where I was like, Latifat, there's with at that point we had done a lot with our money school, with making sure that our money school is diverse. We have Black, brown, Asian, we have all kinds of like shades and colors of women. And in fact, people would come into the money school and say things like, oh, this is where all the diverse women talking about money and doing money and building wealth and richness. Like we're having conversations that we cannot have in other places. And people tell me that the spaces that I've been creating are literally healing in ways that they did not even know existed. And so when 2 years ago the idea for starting an in-person event came, I was like literally, oh my goodness, like I don't like hosting events. And that's just the truth. I don't like planning events, I should say. And I mean, if I look back at even my own history of not just the money school, but outside of the money school, in my own life, my husband and I, we've like created communities where we bring people together, right? And so what I found is that I bring people together, but the actual act of planning events was not my forte, not something that I enjoyed. But what I realized was that I don't have to do that. I don't have to plan the party to bring the people together. And in fact, I will tell you that one of the things that I've now found to be a superpower of mine are the kinds of humans that I bring together, right? Like, for example, I remember last year, one of our speakers ended up meeting one of our attendees at the airport, and they took a picture in the lounge, sent it to me, and they're like, oh my goodness, Latifah, the kind of humans you bring together, right? When I think about even the money school, like Brittany, who does our orientation calls. So if you're a woman physician, if you come into the money school, we do a one-on-one orientation call with you because we want to make sure that you're well sorted out, like it's almost like a white glove VIP experience. We want to make sure like you're not getting lost anywhere. And I will tell you that almost every single time Brittany does an orientation with someone, she's like, Latifah, oh my goodness, like you keep finding amazing humans because we bring good humans together. And we saw that play out in 2024 where we hosted our first in-person event. Literally, we had like 20 something women from around the country came together. I was one of the speakers. We had about 3 or 4 other speakers last year, and it was like magical. We did interviews of the women. We're like, if you want, we can interview you. And every single person said yes to being interviewed. Imagine that. And every single one of them were like, we highly, highly recommend this experience, was transformative in there, like right there. They were experiencing shifts. And in fact, there was someone inside of the money school that had been in the money school for about a year or so. She came to the event, and about 3 months later or so, she was sharing some of the wins that she had experienced, like the shift she had experienced. And she was like, Latifa, the in-person event that I attended with the money school, with the MoneyFitMD Wealthy You Life event, she was like, that was just like, it literally took the ceiling off. And so, like, the changes that she experienced in person, she's like virtual does not even touch at all. And I think I understand why. And this is part of the reason why I started Wealthy You Life, which is our in-person gathering. The one for 2025 is happening September 19th to 21st in San Diego, California. Yes, it's not too late for you to sign up now. We have CME that where you can apply for the CME up to 10 units of credit. So if you're like, I got CME money, this is one you definitely want to use. You can stay at the hotel. You can stay at one of the neighboring hotels. You can stay at an Airbnb. It's freaking beautiful San Diego with beautiful people and our speakers top of the line, like top of the line. But it's not just about listening to the speakers. It's about being in the room. Guys, I will be honest with you. Part of the things that I've learned when it comes to teaching money, hosting events, hosting the money school, and hosting this podcast is there are small things that make a huge difference. So imagine you version A and a different version of yourself, version B, started out at the same place, same timeline, running together, same challenges, same everything. You may be surprised to find that 3 months from now, version B may be sprinting forward compared to version A. And what I found is that there's small, specific, intentional things that make the biggest difference and helps make sure that we're accelerating our journey. The problem with that, though, is some of the simple things are very, very easy to miss. They're so easy to miss because they don't come naturally, they don't come easily. It's the things like the mindset shift, it's the things like being vulnerable in a room, it's the thing like leaving your kids, leaving your family, getting on an airplane, flying to a different city or a different state to be with people that literally will cause like an acceleration in your transformation. And then going home and applying what you've learned. Like these are the small things that can seem so inconvenient for women, for moms, for women that are first generation wealth builders because you're not used to it, right? We're told things like, oh, this is a waste of time. Like you can just listen to it on YouTube, you can just listen to it on a podcast. No, it is different, y'all. It is different. And as someone that has 3 kids, who I literally have to leave home when I'm going to events, I plan to go to quarterly events every year. I go to in-person events like in September. I'm going to be speaking at multiple events, but I think I have like 4 events in September. Not because I don't like my kids, but because, guys, the shift that happens. In fact, January of this year, my husband and I, we literally took our kids and went to an event for the family, like an in-person conference for the family. It changes your brain, rewires your brain in a way that it would literally take 3 to 4 times as long in the natural time in order to be able to accomplish that, right? And so I want to make sure that you understand that this event is not some like event that is put together without understanding the unique challenges that we as women physicians go through. I want to make sure you don't think like this is an event that we're putting together for sure, that is understanding the challenges that you are going through, the challenges that happens with you coming in person, living everything. And that is why I know for sure that when I put this together, I'm putting this consideration in mind and making sure that you are going to be logged on, you're going to learn, it's going to be so worth your time because I would want that for myself. And because I love y'all and because your time is so valuable, I like this is something that is very, very intentional so that when you leave, you're like, Latifat, I am so glad I attended. In fact, last year, one of the women physicians that attended, I think it took her like 30 hours or so to get there. And she came to me, which I was so just like, and that, I'm just like, women physicians are amazing. She came to me and she said, Latifat, it took me this many hours to get here because my flight was canceled and all this other stuff. And she was like, it's only been the first couple of hours here and it's already been worth it. It's already been worth it. Imagine that. That was still there a couple of hours in. And she's like, it's already because the thing is this, I want you to make sure you don't make the mistakes that too many people make when it comes to events and evaluating their benefit versus their risk. It's not just about the speakers. It's not just about San Diego, which are amazing. San Diego is amazing. I mean, it's view. Listen, y'all. We did last year in Atlanta, and I was like, "Where the ocean at? I need the ocean in my life." So that's why this year we chose San Diego because San Diego is beautiful. You're gonna be across from the ocean, the breeze, the walk in the morning. Like you're like just experiencing that ocean breeze is gonna give you like mind shades like no other. Like if you're someone that needs to rest, come, come. If you're someone that like, I want to learn strategies about how to take what I'm earning, tax strategy, real estate tax strategy, business education, like as long as it has to do with creating the wealthy next level for you, we're gonna be talking about that. And another benefit is the conversations in the room. The conversations in the room are going to be like no other because these are imagine physicians, smart, badass, kind humans, want to grow their finances. They're creating their wealthy life. They're investing. Some of them are beginners when it comes to their money. Some of them are more seasoned when it comes to their money. But now you have that entire gamut in a room together. We're exchanging, talking about like the challenges, like relational stuff, the charting, the admin, the healthcare, but not just in terms of like the problem. We're also like learning solutions. Like, how are your physician colleagues navigating this? How are they not being crusty, burnt out? Like, how are they recovering from burnout? How are they taking care of themselves from burnout? How are they traveling, enjoying life? I'm literally recording this a few days after I came back from Nigeria this year. Like, we got to surprise my mom for her 70th birthday. It was one of the most amazing things ever, right? So, how do you live a life where you're focusing on the money, focusing on mission, but you can still enjoy your life? How do you do that? These are some of the offline conversations that are happening in the room, the coaching conversations in the room. Like, the value of an in-person event is, in my opinion, like 6 times, like the equivalent of 6 months of coaching, 3 to 6 months of coaching that you would experience, because it literally accelerates your journey. Like, so much so that I'm like, more women need to get up, yes, leave their children behind if they don't have a choice. We Last year we did have someone that brought their kid. We found a babysitter. Like, we just if what are the challenges? Like, what is stopping you from experiencing the growth that you deserve, experiencing the acceleration that you need in your life? Because at the end of the day, when you invest in yourself through the wealthy you life, which is why we call it wealthy you, like, you are the engine, you are the source. And when you invest in yourself, in the growth and development, oh my goodness, you take that brain and you go home and you're better partner, better spouse, better physician, less tired, like more connected. You live with friends. You live richer. You live with like clear goals, strategies. Our speakers are well curated. Like, y'all know me. Like, I value physicians so much that if there's anyone coming into the room, they are well curated. Literally, we have a speaker that's coming in and flying out within 3 hours. But I'm like, we want you to be in here, and she is going to be there showing off for women physicians, and you get to be there too. So I want to make sure, the reason why I'm recording this is I love in-person events. I've seen the ROI, the return on investment, not just in my life, but in the attending. Some of them that are like, this is my first money event. Some of them are like, I've never been to a money event like this before, that is full of joy, that is talking about money, but it's well marinated so that it doesn't feel like, I don't feel obstipated when I leave. I feel refreshed. I feel rejuvenated. Now I'm ready to like run and do the other things that I want to do. Right. And because of that, I'm like, I want to make sure that you're not cheating yourself, slowing down your growth by not being in the room. So, just real briefly, there are some questions that I've gotten that I wanted to make sure that I did address in addition to like my explanation. So, one of the questions that I've gotten is there going to be a virtual option? And the answer is no. There's no virtual option to this. It's in person only. Because being in the room is exactly what your soul needs. It's exactly what every cell in your body needs. Like, you need to take a deep breath with us. You need to sit down with us. You need to eat with us. So virtual, in my opinion, doesn't cut it. So in person only is what we're doing. We're not gonna like pop up a surprise at the end and say, now we have virtual. No, in person is the work. Like, in person is the growth. In person is the win. This is how you get the biggest ROI. And go big or go home. We want women to, yes, it's gonna cost something. It's gonna cost you living. It's gonna cost the cost of you paying, but we want you to get the best. And this is literally the only option. It's in person. So that's number one. The other question that I've gotten is how long and what time. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we start at 8:30 a.m. We're done every day by 3 p.m. That way you can go enjoy the ocean. You can go have dinner with someone you just met, meet up with a friend, take a nap, read a book, go swimming at the pool, go to the bar, like whatever you want, you're gonna have time, because time is one of the wheels of wealth that I teach women physicians. And I want to make sure that you have the time to do whatever you want. So we'll be done at 3 p.m. On Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, we're done by noon so that you can have the time to say your goodbyes, pack your things if you're going to be leaving that day and go catch your flight out if that's what you're going to be doing. So we start at 8:30, but even before 8:30, there's going to be breakfast. There's going to be some people are going to be walking at the beach. We're going to have time for like, your that's just your personal growth and development. So that's a big part of it. And on Saturday, I'm going to do like a surprise optional session for people that may want to come and like ask me questions about like faith and money and spirituality and prayer and those other things. That's not part of the general program, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to be up early anyway. And I haven't decided whether we're going to do this at the beach or not, but it's optional. And for some of you guys, that's like the question you have in your heart right now. You're like, Latifat, how do you balance all of this? That is a time that you definitely going to want to. That by itself may be worth it for you, to be honest with you. And I've just been honest with you. So that's the other thing that we've gotten. So the other question is, are meals included? So yes, you're gonna have breakfast included. We're gonna have lunch on Friday and Saturday. Dinner, you do that on your own. However, on Friday night, we have a welcome reception, which is like an hors d'oeuvres drink by the pool. Just time to like mingle, get to know each other. For those of you guys that are introverts, you can have an introvert corner in there. I promise you, I will not hug you unless you want to be hugged. And on Saturday night, we're gonna have a VIP only dinner for women in the money school. And if you're someone that you're like, oh my goodness, Latifah, I want to be in that room, find me on that day. But we're planning for this to be for the money school members only. It's like a family reunion for us. We get to see each other. Last time we had this, we had Nigerian food. So, and I'm not talking about like fake Nigerian food. I'm talking about the real deal Nigerian food, like people eat it with their hands. It's just like it's like this is my casa. And I just love women physicians so much that I want our hearts and our souls to be fed. And that's part of what this weekend is also about. So those would be included as well. This is going to be in San Diego, Oceanside, California. People have asked me about lodging questions. So when we started the event, we had a block of rooms that were given to us at a discount. That is all gone. But what people are doing now is, and if you go on our website, moneyfitmd.com/WYC, you will see on the FAQ, there are some options of some hotels within walking distance that some members have been able to get at a lower price because our discounted ones are gone. However, I don't want that to be the reason why you don't show up. Guys, I want you to think about this way. This is how I think about it. Anytime you're trying to do something great in your life, anytime you're saying, I'm ready for next steps, the first things that's going to show up is going to look disruptive. It's going to look discouraging. It's going to be like, I'm going to make this a bump in the road. Unfortunately, most people get fooled by it. But what I want you to start being is I want you to become someone that understands the patterns so that you don't fall for the trick. So when something like, oh, the hotel is not the price that I wanted, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go. You are literally letting the bump, the disruption, the discouragement lead you to missing out on what may be the best thing that you've done for yourself this year. So whether it's registering, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a flight, don't let anything stand in the way of your blessing. Don't let anything stand in the way of you meeting this next version of yourself that literally has the potential to change the rest of your 2025 and 2026 so that you can have like the best 6 months when it comes to your money and your wealth. So again, just a word of caution. Every single time you want to do something great, the idea comes first. The next step is going to be bumped, disruptive looking. But this is literally what helps separate the successful from those that are not going to be successful. It's like when you wanted to become a doctor, the first thing you had to meet was the MCAT. Look at all the people that didn't get in because of the MCAT, right? Or you're like, I'm going to be a GI doctor. Now you got to interview. It's a bump in the road. If you let the bump discourage you, you are going to miss out on the best part of your life. Don't do that. So if I think about this event, if I think about the return on the investment you're going to get on a different up-leveled version of yourself, a more rested at ease version of yourself, clear strategies, a community like no other where you're like, I almost want to promise you, but I don't want to promise that you're going to come find me most likely and go, Latifat, thank you for bringing those people together. Thank you for bringing those people together. Like, I want you to feel that in every part of your being. And that is why even when it gets hard, that's why I don't back out. That's why I don't back down, because women like you need spaces like this that nobody else is creating, where we can have deep conversations, not superficial nonsense, but deep conversations that actually move the needle. That move the needle. That's what WYC is about. That's what Wealthy You Life is about. And then the other question that I've also gotten is about the CME. So y'all better thank me for this part, because CME ain't smiling. Because you know how, like, I need to like work with all those ACCGME people, because they don't want you to be well. They want you to be burned out. They want you to be tired. They want you to be dusty, crusty. They don't want you to have financial peace of mind. They don't want you to be financially well. However, what that translates into is that it's been hard to get CME for this event. Last year we did, and between last year and this year, there's been so many changes that's made it hard. Because I got y'all. I got you, boo. I got you. So what we've done though is we've worked with an organizer that's been working with really providing CME where it actually matters. And so yes, you're gonna have the option of CME up to 10 units. We paid some good moolah for that. But if that helps you make it easier for you to attend this event that could change your life, it's so worth it for us. So I hope I've addressed all the questions. Again, what am I gonna get from this? A different version of yourself. I want you to be unrecognizable. Like mind shifts. Within the first hour, I want you to go, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I'm here. Because that's how we've engineered things. That's how we've put together the talk, the conversation, so that you get that ROI right away. So the theme for this year is freedom. Freedom in all aspects of your life. It's financial freedom, it's mental freedom, it's emotional freedom. And every speaker that we're having is going to embody that for you. So that even if she's speaking about real estate, you're also getting the emotional freedom that is required in order to do that. So it's going to be 3D, because you're going to hear, but you're also going to see, and you're going to be transformed by just experiencing our speakers. How amazing is that? So I'm super duper excited. I can't wait to see you. If I hope I've answered all the questions that you've had, but if there's any other residual questions that you have, email me, and you can send us an email at concierge@moneyfitmd.com. Again, my goal is we want women like you in the room. I don't even want money to be what keeps you outside of the room. I don't want money to be the reason. I don't want your schedule to be the reason. Yes, ask for time off. Ask for it. Ask for it. We literally have someone that is gonna become, that's like my every week Sabbath is on Saturdays. Like, she's making it work. So don't let anything stand between you and this next version of yourself, the wealthy version of yourself, the one that has the strategy, the one that is going to be leading the event and doing her money on a different level, having conversations at a different level, doing her business at a different level, leading at a different level, parenting, like all this trickles down to all the areas of your life. So I cannot wait to see you. I think I've said everything I have to say. This is going to be our best yet. San Diego, California, September 17th to 19th. I can't wait to see you. So let's know if you have any questions. Thank you very much for being a part of my world. I love you, and I hope this episode has helped you really clarify if this event is for you or not. Talk to you and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.